Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE Monday Night Raw episode 1401, which was broadcast on March 30th, 2020. So I apologize if you can hear the dishwasher going on in the background. I wanted to get this episode recorded while I was still pretty much awake and waiting for that to finish. It was probably going to be a little bit too long because I'm getting pretty sleepy. But, this episode is the go-home episode of Raw before WrestleMania. Very different from every go-home show ever before. But maybe not so dissimilar from our go-home SmackDown later this week. We'll see what goes on there. Actually, this SmackDown is probably going to be a lot more crazy than this episode was. But we saw that, we saw some changes already. I don't know if those changes will follow through WrestleMania this week, but as many know, all of these episodes, including the Raw after WrestleMania, were filmed last week. And in some cases, next week's Raw was filmed, I believe, before WrestleMania. So it'll be interesting to see everything that unfolds the rest of this week. I'm really excited for NXT because we have some of the takeover card happening and setups for the second half of the takeover card. That's going to be pretty awesome. And but this episode was a lot of replays from last year's WrestleMania. There's one replay from last year's WrestleMania, and then there was a replay from Brock's last title defense, which was in November, which is kind of ridiculous. I think about it. I was like, why are they playing this match? I'm like, oh yeah, that is the last time he defended the championship. That's insane. But anyway, so like a good 45 minutes or so was Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champion, and Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champion, last year at WrestleMania in New Jersey. And with commercials, this match is really long. I thought it was only going to be a couple of segments, but with the commercials, it was like 4 full segments. From the start of all the entrances. The entrances took up a lot of time, especially Ronda's entrance. But, I kind of zoned out. I just kept it on in the background. It was kind of weird seeing this match before midnight. I maybe saw like clips or like definitely GIFs of this match. But I hadn't watched the whole thing since actually being there for the show. So it was pretty interesting to watch it back. The little bit that I was paying attention to it. But one thing I did want to say about that match, I am skipping forward. There's stuff that happened before this replay, but there was a moment when Charlotte speared both Becky and Ronda, and I thought that was like her best looking spear that I've seen. That from I can't remember anything else that I would even compare to it. I thought it was really good, that double spear. But that's all I want to say about that match. But before that happened, we had a promo from The Undertaker. He started calling AJ Allen Jones and making it real and all that. And then he called out AJ saying, well, I think you're just jealous that she does the Faith Breaker and she does it better than you. She got over more than you and all that kind of thing. And I think it would be interesting if Undertaker says that he hopes that AJ brings Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, because he says that he is going to bring his Holy Trinity. So I'm wondering if he's going to have Michelle McCool there and Kane. That could be pretty interesting and weird. And I really just want to see Michelle McCool hit the Faith Breaker on AJ Styles. I think that would be really great, but I have no idea now. So I am excited. I am pretty excited for that match. So we had that replay of the WrestleMania main event last year, introduced by Becky, and then like 45 minutes later, she's still standing there on the stage. And this kind of bothered me. I went to check So the next 24 hours or so, I'm just not going to go on any websites. The only online communication that I'm going to do is with people that I normally talk to anyway. I'm going to try my best to just not go on Reddit, not go on Twitter, not go on Facebook, none of that. Because people are really, really negative about anytime that I went on there, they're just being really negative about everything. Like, oh, really? They had her standing out there this entire time, like that kind of thing. Like, no, they didn't. And then, like, she said that was the first time that she watched it back. How would that not be very believable? She definitely could have watched clips of it for sure, but I think it's pretty believable that she wouldn't watch the entire thing. But anyway, it's just kind of annoying to me to see such negative reactions to everything on this episode anytime that I went on there. So I advise just don't go on what's it called, Reddit. It's people are just, I feel just in general are just want to be really negative about every little thing. They want to latch on to something to be negative about instead of like do the opposite. That's what I say. I thought it was really cool to see this replay, even though I tuned out for a lot of it. But it was nice to see like stuff that I didn't notice being there in person because it's a completely different vantage point watching it from in the stadium. And furthermore, I didn't even realize that. Okay, later on, we had Rey Mysterio versus Brock Lesnar from Survivor Series. I did not remember this being the case that Rey Mysterio had a clown mask on. It was pretty creepy. I didn't realize that because I was not close up enough to make that out. I didn't even like make that connection of what he was wearing. So I feel like there's always something new, something different, something interesting to focus positive attention to, rather than some negative attention. Even though I may have already been negative about some stuff already in this episode, but hopefully I'm overall being positive about this stuff because I did enjoy watching this episode. I did think about, well, maybe I'll just watch this later so I can skip the commercials. But I was playing like Animal Crossing during the commercials, some of the commercials, and then I was doing some other stuff. So it was nice to have something happen, something on TV. And there are parts that I did really enjoy. That brings us to, I did enjoy this match. Aleister Black versus a poor fella named Cade, I think. And when Aleister Black does the sit down thing, he's like, what is he doing? What is he doing? And then Andrade, of course, hits him with a black mass, and is defeated immediately as soon as he decided to defeat him. Then up next we had a tag team match, a 6-man tag team match, which is supposed to be Street Profits and Kevin Owens versus Angel Garza, Andrade, and Seth Rollins. But Andrade has suffered a rib injury, and so he was not able to compete in this match, but Zelina Vega was able to find a replacement because of how connected she is, how great she is as getting people together, getting the talent into the ring. And his replacement was Austin Theory. So it's cool to see him on Raw. This match had some really good moments, but it ultimately ended with Seth delivering a curb stomp to Kevin Owens, winning the match. I think he won the match. I couldn't rewind it. I kind of missed exactly what happened, but yeah, we go to commercial break, and Kevin is there by himself in the ring, and he has a lot of words to say about Seth Rollins. He said, addressing Seth Rollins' statements before, that the Performance Center was made possible because of Seth Rollins. Kevin says, this place was built in despite of you because you were a nightmare to be around. You were a nightmare to working with, and you're just an arrogant dip S-word. And I thought it was pretty good. That was a really good promo. I liked it a lot. and I think this match will be pretty good. I was thinking maybe this match will end up changing into something else, or the Street Profits defending their championships will be changing into something else. There's a whole 20 minutes of going through all the matches that are going to happen this weekend, and I forget exactly what is official as of right now, but let's see. WrestleMania 36. I don't want spoilers. I just want the Wikipedia page. Hopefully there's no spoilers on here. So we have 16 matches across 2 nights. Let's get back to this in a minute. But right now, it is Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. That is a match that's on here in just a singles match. There's nothing special about it as far as boneyards or no DQs or ladders or none of that. It could be a church match in Seth's church. But anyway, we also had a promo from Edge, basically saying that he makes Randy Orton better. But anything I could say about this promo does it a disservice is really good. Check out that segment. I'm sure just that clip is on the WWE YouTube already. It was probably on there before the show even started. Because they could, because it was all pre-taped this week. But then we had Asuka versus Kaden Carter. Luckily, Asuka got the win here. She murdered her and then hit the Asuka lock, and Kaden Carter tapped out. Then Asuka cut a promo over at the commentary table in Japanese, very passionate, and then she also did an interview backstage that you can watch online with Sarah Schreiber. Sarah Schreiber. That was also pretty good. I don't know what she said at all. Maybe somebody has done subtitles for it already, but it's always fun to watch Asuka cut her promos in Japanese. Then we had the replay of Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio from Survivor Series, which I did not expect to be on television today. I'm pretty sure you can see me. Yeah, you can definitely see me. I didn't spot myself because I couldn't pause it, but I was in the first row of the lower bowl, right in the middle there. So not right in the middle, but certainly I had to have been visible in some of the shots. So that was fun. And also, like I said, I did not realize that Ray had a clown mask, a clown version of his mask. So that was really cool. And yeah, I didn't mind them replaying this at all. I think it's absolutely understandable that they didn't want to have the people involved in the huge matches have matches. Well, they did still have some people have their matches, like Andrade had a match and stuff like that. But there's no reason to have Drew McIntyre have any matches, or Brock Lesnar, or The Fiend, or Goldberg, or John Cena. None of them needed to have matches in these weeks going up to WrestleMania, because they have their WrestleMania match. Don't put that into jeopardy by risking them getting hurt or also getting sick. From being in contact with people more than they need to. So I don't mind this at all, especially with 3 hours to fill. It actually, now looking back on it, they could have gotten away with having another half hour of replaying matches, honestly. But so I was glad with how much of new stuff that they did have this week. I just wanted to check my recording here, make sure it's still going okay. So after that, we had Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar in the ring to close out the night with a big promo talking about how Drew McIntyre is going into the special, but he's just coming out just like everybody else. Brock's the B word. And then also not a spoiler, but a guarantee that next year on the final show, the go home segment before WrestleMania, it's going to be Brock Lesnar with the title on his shoulder, because Drew McIntyre is not going to win. So we'll see what happens there. Also, I forgot to mention that Shayna attacked Becky while she was cutting a promo after that replay of last year's main event. So I thought that was pretty cool. She smacked Becky right into the side of the commentary table. That was pretty brutal. So I am excited for that match. I think this match will work I think this match will will work better than it would have with an audience. Like, I know that seems kind of weird to say, but I think it will be better without an audience just like crapping all over it. Like, I think they would. Because audience kind of sucks. But anyway, let's go through all the matches real quick as they stand right now, as of the evening of March 30th, Monday, March 30th, 2020. We're 5 days away from the first night of WrestleMania. So all the matches, as it stands here, according to Wikipedia, we have Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. I'm not going to do predictions in this. I just want to run through all the matches. I'll do predictions after the SmackDown episode on Friday. But we have Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair, Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre, Goldberg versus Roman Reigns, Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler. Those are all the main championship matches. No, there's also... That's not all the main championship matches, because we also have Bayley versus Lacey Evans versus Naomi versus Sasha Banks versus Tamina for the SmackDown Women's Championship. We also have John Cena versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. We have The Undertaker versus AJ Styles in a Boneyard match. We have Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. We have a triple threat ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships between The Miz and John Morrison, The New Day, and the Usos. We also have the Street Profits versus Austin Theory and Angel Garza for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Okay, I guess that's official. With Austin Theory and something. How crazy would that be? Man, that's like a weird, crazy. I said I wasn't going to talk about predictions. There's no way that the Street Profits lose the championships in that match, because that's like, that match has changed so much. But anyway, it will be really cool. Like, Austin Theory, good job, man. Hell yeah. Get it. That's great. WrestleMania match? Like, within months? I think he only actually joined NXT a few months. Like, I don't even know if he was officially, like, solid NXT yet. He had only appeared on NXT television a couple of times. That's awesome, dude. Anyway, then we have Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley in a singles match. We have Elias versus King Corbin. That match, a regular singles match made by Gronk. We have Edge versus Randy Orton, which I think could be the match of the weekend. Definitely has the potential to be. Then we have Sami Zayn with the Artist Collective, Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura, versus Daniel Bryan with Drew Gulak, and maybe they'll get Shorty G in their corner to help counteract things even more. And then we have the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, the women's tag team champions, versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Just a 2-on-2 match. I think there had been some speculation that would be like last year. Is a fatal 4-way, but looks like it's just going to be the 2-on-2. And then Otis and Dolph Ziggler in a singles match for the love. It's not for the love of Mandy Rose, but that might be an unintended consequence. Maybe Otis, being the will come out on top, and Mandy Rose will realize what a mistake she's made being with such a jerk, Dolph Ziggler, or whatever. But also Otis is being kind of a creep. So I think everybody kind of sucks in this whole situation. So anyway, yeah, we'll see what happens. It's interesting that they didn't say Otis with Tucker on this Wikipedia entry, but then I guess it's just a Wikipedia entry. So we'll see what happens with all that. Hopefully Sonya Deville is out there as well, or at least is we see her backstage and whatnot. Some other stuff that I hope that we see happen is, I just hope that it's fun. Overall, I just hope that it's fun, that there's really entertaining stuff that happens. That there's maybe some stuff that takes advantage of not having an audience, not really camera trickery so much as, like, I don't know, just being more cinematic about it, and maybe even doing some like stunt scene type stuff, some stuff that you couldn't do live. Not like in the straight up matches, like Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. If there was like camera trickery during that match, I'd be like, what the hell's going on? This dumb. But in a match, of course, like the Boneyard match, that's got to have all kinds of trickery going on. I also forgot to mention that John Cena versus The Fiend is going to be, because it didn't say it on the Wikipedia article, it's going to be a Firefly Funhouse match. There's going to be all kinds of crazy stuff that goes on in that one. And then the last man standing, Edge versus Randy Orton, they're going to be able to do all kinds of stuff. Maybe like special effect, not like explosions and things like that, but like with blood and just like brutal stuff going on. I could definitely see all that happening, and also tons of swearing. There's got to be tons of swearing, right? Or at least like one. Oh, I would. Okay, they've dropped some S bombs. Of course, I think they like when I think that they said the S word. Yeah, I don't want to swear on this podcast, but I think it was maybe Tom who said that when Shayna was attacking Becky and like slammed her in the side of the table. I feel like I heard an S-bomb there. There's also a GD that was bleeped out, which is interesting. That was bleeped out, but the S words before were not. And then there's also Kevin Owens calling Seth Rollins a dipsh, So, yeah, I think there's going to be a bit of swearing, especially from SmackDown people, because they can't swear on SmackDown. Or maybe they'll continue to not swear in their matches, but we'll see. So I always said we're one step closer to WrestleMania. I mean, I wish it was still happening as it was intended to, and with access and all that, because all that is so much fun. It's going to be tough on top of everything else to like think about how much fun all of that stuff was last year and the year before, that none of that is happening. But at the same time, we get this awesome show at a time when otherwise like nothing like this is happening right now. Like this is only like brand new entertainment that's being able to be produced, other than like podcasts, which are dumb, and why are you listening to this, and talk shows that are now becoming podcasts, and all this stuff. It's all becoming like Skype interview type things and everything, which is fine. But I think this is like I'm just really happy that they're still putting on a show for us in whatever form it takes, and I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna be I think the best thing we do is just enjoy it. Like, don't find things like there's going to be so much to be able to complain about just like all the time anyway. And I think it would do all of us so much good to just focus on the parts that you really enjoy about it. And even the stuff that you think is dumb or whatever, like make that into a thing that you enjoy about it. Like, oh, this is so dumb, I love it. Like that. Like there's so much about pro wrestling in general that I feel that way about. I know it's so stupid, and not in general, but like I know there is some stuff that's so stupid and could be like, oh, comparing this to whatever, like Better Call Saul. Like compared to Better Call Saul, everything else in the entire world is pretty much garbage. But like, find something to enjoy about it, because it's people that just want to like they're doing so much to put on an entertaining show and to make you feel something, and like even if it makes you mad or something like that, like take a step back. Maybe that was their intention. Maybe that was what that segment, what that match was trying to do, and still feel mad about it, but don't be like mad about the show and mad that it exists, that the show exists. Like, be mad at that character. Be like, what a hope that they get beaten next time or whatever, that kind of thing. Like, just turn on that mental switch to make it about, like, let's willfully believe in kayfabe and all of that for as much as we can. And if you can't, then, like, find other stuff about it. Don't let the last match determine your opinion of the entire show before it. Because not everything is tied into what happens in that last match. Actually, in most cases, like nothing is tied into what happens in that last match. All the other matches are like independent of that. It's very rare that we have everything tied together as much as we have had in some pay-per-views. We've been kind of fortunate to have that kind of storytelling throughout the night. But even then, it's still not like tied to every single match. And so that's my advice. And this week and always in wrestling, like don't let the final match or don't let any single match just destroy the rest of your mood. Like if you enjoyed the whole rest of the show, focus on all that stuff because it'll be so much better. Everything's so much better when you focus on the stuff that you like and you enjoy about entertainment. So there you go. I'll stop talking about that now. So I will be doing the NXT episode this week, and then SmackDown, and then WrestleMania, of course. So stay tuned for all of that. If you listen to the episode right previous to this, it was my last new comics episode for a while, but I will hopefully be doing some other comics episodes about stuff that I haven't read yet, that I'm going to get caught up on, like complete runs of stuff. So stay tuned for all of that. And if you have suggestions for it to check out, to read for all of that, let me know. But let me know what you thought about this episode by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe, healthy, and happy out there in all the infinite multiverses. And I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.